Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Daily Cafe Chat. I'm Emily.
And I'm Lisa. Happy Wednesday, June 17th.
Middle of the week. I feel like today needs a window open.
Yes, a real window, not just a browser tab.
Exactly. That is the mood today.
I already like it.
Today's keyword is open air. It means outside with space around you. And today, it is also our theme.
Open air. That feels very needed for a Wednesday.
It does. And the three stories all move us outside in different ways.
Okay, I am ready for a little fresh air.
But first, if you are new, welcome in. Hit subscribe so you can join us every morning with your coffee.
3 real news stories, 1 easy chat, about 10 minutes. That is the whole show.
Today's menu. Topic 1, a genomic study moves the koala timeline far back.
Wait, before humans? That is not where I thought that was going.
Right. And we'll be careful because modern threats are still very human.
Good. Important correction already.
Topic 2. Outdoor play in preschool years may be linked to later mental health patterns. That sounds sweet, but also like we need to avoid turning it into parenting advice. Exactly. It's an association study, not a magic rule.
Got it.
And topic 3, international tall ships made a rare stop in Richmond for a weekend festival. Oh, now that's open air. River, music, old ships, the whole scene. That's where we're ending. Perfect. Let's open the window and start. First story. A new genomic study has changed the timeline for koalas. I love when animal news suddenly becomes ancient history. This one really does. Researchers looked at koala genomes. So not fossils, more like genetic clues? Exactly. Fossils are sparse, so DNA helped them look backward. That already sounds like detective work. The key finding is that koalas appear to have a major population decline around 100,000 years ago. That is so much older than my brain was ready for. Same. And that's before modern humans arrived on the continent. So the old story was too simple. Yes, earlier work suggested the crash happened only after humans arrived. And this study pushes the timeline back. It does. They estimated the koala mutation rate, then applied it to 457 genomes. 457? That's a serious data set. It is. And the picture they get is an ancient decline, likely tied to big environmental changes.
I can imagine Australia getting drier, habitat shifting, everything changing slowly and then suddenly.
That's the idea. But here's the very important part.
Yes, because I can already hear the bad takeaway forming.
This does not mean humans are off the hook today.
Thank you.
Modern koalas are still facing human-driven pressure, especially habitat loss, land clearing, bushfires, hunting, and disease. So ancient history explains one chapter. It doesn't erase the current chapter. Exactly. And in parts of eastern Australia, koalas have been listed as endangered since 2022. That makes the story heavier, but in a useful way. Useful is the right word. If scientists understand how koala survived past declines, it may help conservation decisions now. That's the open air part for me. We're not just looking at one cute animal, we're looking at a whole landscape changing around it. Beautifully said. A genome can open a window onto a very old world. And then bring us right back to what we do with the world now. Story 2 stays outside, but much closer to everyday life.
We are going from koalas and ancient landscapes to kids on playgrounds.
Exactly. A University of Exeter-led study looked at outdoor play in early childhood.
I already feel my shoulders dropping.
They used a Scotland cohort.
How many kids?
4,151 children.
Big group.
They looked at outdoor play at ages 2, 3, and 4.
Tiny kid ears.
Then they followed mental health symptoms at ages 4, 5, 6, and 8.
So they were looking over time, not just one quick snapshot.
Right. And the finding was that more outdoor play was associated with a greater chance of staying in a low-symptom mental health group through age 8.
I like that wording, associated with, not guaranteed.
Exactly. The study does not prove outdoor play causes better mental health by itself.
No magic park bench.
Exactly. But the pattern is interesting.
What kind of pattern?
For each extra outdoor play day in a preschool week, the odds of a healthy symptom profile increased by 6 to 14%.
That is specific and also not overdramatic.
Yes, they also controlled for education, parent work, child sex, ethnicity, and park or garden access.
So they tried to avoid the simple answer of maybe it's just the neighborhood.
Exactly. It's still not perfect causation, but it's stronger than a loose guess.
I like that this doesn't have to become a lecture.
Same. The takeaway can be gentle.
Like, make room for kids to run around, climb something, get muddy, invent a weird game with a stick.
Very much that. The study points toward outdoor play as a simple, low-cost support.
And also kind of joyful.
Joy matters here. Open air is not just exercise. It can be freedom, social play, risk, imagination.
I remember making entire kingdoms out of leaves.
That's exactly the kind of research cannot fully measure, but everyone understands.
Tiny leaf kingdoms, apparently very scientific.
We'll call them informal developmental laboratories.
That's the fanciest way anyone has ever described my childhood.
Final story, we are going fully into the open air. Take me to the water. International tall ships sailed into Richmond for a rare stop. That phrase alone sounds like a postcard. It does. The event was part of Sail 250, tied to America's 250th anniversary maritime celebration.
So history, but with actual ships you can see.
Exactly. Richmond hosted a free weekend festival along the riverfront.
I love when history leaves the textbook and shows up at a park.
That is the whole charm. The festival included ship tours, live music, exhibits, food, and fireworks. That is a very full weekend. The official festival page listed 3 visiting sailing vessels. We don't need the full ship lecture, right? No full lecture, just the image. 3 tall ships at the riverfront. Thank you. I can picture the masts already. It ran June 12th through 14th along the riverfront. A whole city weekend built around looking up. Looking up is a good phrase. Tall ships do that to you. Also, I love the contrast with our first 2 stories. How so? Topic 1 was deep time. Topic 2 was childhood time. This one is community time. That's good. Like, people gather outside, listen to music, point at old ships, and suddenly the city feels alive. That's the exact note to end on. Richmond's event is local, but the larger celebration connects several ports.
So one small riverfront scene is part of a much bigger route.
Right. And it's a reminder that history doesn't always have to feel distant. Sometimes it has sails, with food stands and fireworks too.
I would absolutely go.
Same. After the science and childhood study, this gives us the light landing. Open air, but make it festive. So today we moved from ancient koalas to preschool play to tall ships.
That is such a satisfying path. Nature, childhood, and then everyone outside together.
And our key word comes back here. Open air.
It really did the work today.
Today, open air was not just about being outside. It was about opening the frame.
Looking wider.
Wider in time, daily life, and community. That is a calm little Wednesday thought. Time for the daily question. Which open-air story stayed with you most?
Good one.
Option A, koalas and their ancient population history. Option B, preschool outdoor play and later mental health patterns. Or option C, the Tall Ships Festival in Richmond.
A, B, or C? I know mine already.
Which one? C. I want the ships, the music, the fireworks, all of it. Very Lisa. Proudly. Mine is B. The outdoor play study feels small, but it touches daily life. That is very Emily. Proudly. Listeners, leave your A, B, or C in the comments. We always read them. We do, and I want to know who else is choosing the ships. And if you enjoyed this, hit subscribe. We'll be back tomorrow with 3 more stories and a fresh coffee. Until then, take a little open air with you, even if it's just one open window. That counts. Bye!